Investors Group Field in Winnipeg, win or lose, it's the Blue Bombers' last home game of 2018. They've won 4 straight, just a win away from clinching a playoff spot for the 3rd straight year as they get set for the Calgary Stampeders on this Friday night.
Bo Levi Mitchell, 7-year vet, 68, 14-2, winning percentage of .821. He knows what to do. Now he's got to get his teammates up to speed.
Playoffs. Matt Nichols has not beat Bo Levi Mitchell yet, but if he wants to get into the playoffs, got to do it tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to need this guy. And it's almost 3 years with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Andrew Harris has been outstanding, but not against the Calgary Stampeders. In 5 games as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber, averaging only 30 yards and not 1 rushing touchdown. They have to get him going.
Winnipeg looking to clinch a playoff spot. Calgary Stampeders looking to finally, after losing 2 straight, clinch 1st place in the West. Welcome, Friday Night Football, Week 20. It's getting late. Rod Smith, along with the panel, Milt Stiegel is back, Matt Dunnigan, and please say hello to the ascot wearing Mr. Davis Sanchez now. Looking very sophisticated.
Thank you, sir.
A nice little fashion move there on this Friday night. Well, I'll let you start it off. What to watch for tonight, because it's a big game for both of these teams.
We've been talking a lot about Calgary's offense. I'm going to the defense side. We got to see what happens with this defense. They have not looked like the Stamps defense over the first month that held teams to around 10 points a game. I expect them back big time this game.
Yeah, Jeff Hecht in the lineup for Taylor Loffler for Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That's a big loss. Taylor's coming into the ball game. Had 3 picks over the last 3 weeks, and I'm watching if the veteran, 9-year veteran from St. Mary's can pick up that slack there and keep that back end tight.
Well, for me, I'm looking at Chris Matthews. Remember, his career started with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 2013 Rookie of the Year. Then went to the NFL. I know he's looking to have a big game against his former team. Bo Levi needs one of those receivers to step up, and I'm sure Chris Matthews wants to be that guy.
And of all of us watching the game tonight, the most nervous have to be, assuming they're watching, the Edmonton Eskimos. It's as simple as this. Imagine this. I mean, you know both franchises, Edmonton and Calgary. I mean, when do they cheer for one another?
Never.
They don't.
Never.
And Edmonton is cheering.
And what about the Rough Riders cheering for the Blue Bombers?
Yeah, exactly. But for Edmonton, if Calgary doesn't win, then the season is
done. Worst bye week in
done.
CFL history right now for the Eskimos. Worst bye week ever.
So you know they'll be watching. We'll be watching. And you'll be watching. Kickoff coming up.
We're all watching.
Goes over the top, and a great play by the Bombers is going to result in a touchdown.
And Patricia Stein, she'll be watching. You can win groceries for a year if a kickoff's returned for a touchdown in today's game, thanks to Safeway Sobeys $1 Million Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a TD in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Patricia. Kickoff coming up in Winnipeg after the break with a call from Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter.
Language that could offend some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Final live mic game on the penultimate Friday night of the season. Big game for both the 12-4 Stampeders and the 9-7 Bombers at Investors Group Field.
Bo Levi Mitchell has not lost at Investors Group Field, 6-0. Averaging 320 yards passing per game. Says he feels good in this stadium. Across the other sideline, Matt Nichols has not beat the Calgary Stampeders, and for Matt, this is start number 64 in his career. But he is 4-0 in the last 4 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and their win streak.
Yep, went into a bye. Mike O'Shea's team on the 4-game win streak still need at least a tie tonight to clinch a playoff spot. If not, they got to go to Edmonton next week for a season finale showdown with the Eskimos. Dave Dickinson Stampeders have dropped 2 straight at home. They need a win or tie to nail down first at home field in the West. So you've got Eskimo fans cheering for Calgary. You got Rough Rider fans cheering for the Bombers. What is the CFL world coming to?
Unthinkable that has to happen, but you know they're watching at home. So I think we're in for a good one tonight.
One event back in August in Calgary, 39-26, the Stampeders won that. Here's Romar Morris on the return of the Medlock kickoff, and he gets through and across midfield before he's jolted out of bounds by Marcus Sales, but that's a 40-yard return to kickstart the Stamps early.
But when you're on the road, you want to make those big plays early, as many as possible, so that you can try and take the crowd out of it as quickly as possible, and that's what this return does immediately here in Winnipeg.
Stamps won the toss, wanted the football right away. Let's see if they can capitalize on that Morris return. Last week, Bo Levi Mitchell held to just 221 yards in the loss against Saskatchewan. Has some time, steps up and throws a dart to Lamar Durant, who has a catch close to first down territory.
Take a look at the Calgary Stampeders offensively. Markeith Amble's big game last week, which is the reason that Bakari Grant didn't get inserted into the lineup in Calgary. And in his third start, Nila Kazatati is at that right tackle spot. 4 of the last 6 games, that offensive line has not given up a sack.
Was a first down for Durant. They'll drop over the middle, and that is Markeith Ambles, and taken down immediately by Javon Santos-Knox. And we'll check that Bomber defense. That's second in points allowed.
Craig Rowe will start at defensive end, but Jackson Jeffcoat is back dressed, and we will see him in the rotation. Adam Bighill leads the Canadian Football League in defensive plays. 2 great linebackers in this one tonight. And Jeff Heck, a late addition. Taylor Loeffler is out on the 1-game injury.
Bombers coming off their first shutout since 2006. Going to take a shot here. Breskison can't make the catch. In coverage, Brandon Alexander, but Breskison had a shot at that football.
And Brandon Alexander makes a great decision at the top of the route here, because he's got press coverage on Breskison. So he's in that pocket, doesn't panic as the ball arrives, and doesn't take the PI call.
What the fuck? They got to be going in yelling pirate, because obviously we got one more guy not coming fucking out.
So Paredes will attempt from 43 yards out. Comes into the game 18 points behind J.T. Hay on the all-time points list, and puts that through. So the Stampeders put 3 on the board off that terrific opening kickoff return. Well, Matt Nichols ready to go to work, trying to break through against Calgary. 0-8 in his career as a starting quarterback against the Stamps. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Well, Mike O'Shea opting for a kickoff after the Stampeder field goal.
Hey! Fucking switch!
Gotcha.
Nick Dembski back along with Keenan LaFrance. Saw the 2 return man flip, and they want it in the hands of Dembski. And he won't get much further than the 20-yard line. Good hustle downfield by a red-hot special teamer, Wynton McManus.
Mentioned the 4-game win streak for Matt Nichols, and what he did there is eliminate the interception. During the time when Winnipeg was struggling, that was an issue. Got rid of it. Did some self-scouting in the bye week after the Banjo Bowl, and has thrown just 1 interception
Bull.
in the 4-game win streak.
64, Arshaw X4 on Bolt. Ready?
Bombers start at the 21. 4 receivers to the near side. Was looking the other way. Pocket collapses, and Junior Turner will drag him down just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Weston Dressler closing in on 10,000 yards receiving in his career, just 27 yards away from that milestone. Take a look at the offensive line. Jamarcus Hardrick back at tackle for a couple of weeks now, but did not play against Calgary in their last meeting.
Yeah, because Will didn't get any whip, guys. You know what I mean?
No! White 20! White 20's hot!
So 2nd and 9. Quickly into the hands of Andrew Harris across the 30-yard line. Going to be close to the first down. Andrew with 6 catches, 51 yards in the first meeting against Calgary. And it is a first down, Winnipeg.
Boy, he's a great receiver out of the backfield, and he just sits down in front of the linebackers, picks up another extra 2 yards, and that's what he needed to move the chains.
Left, 25 fridge, fake wall, it's on one-on-one, right? Go! White 20 to hunt!
Toss inside, and Dressler's got a hole up across the 40. That's another first down. Weston Dressler.
Yes.
I want to thank the Canadian Football League, the CFL PA, and all 9 teams for their cooperation in allowing us to mic up the players and take the fans into the huddle this year.
Here we go. Here we got trips left tough, zip, 30 lead, X barb, Z shave on one-on-one, ready?
That, by the way, a catch for Dressler, 11 yards, 16 away from 10,000.
Go! White 20 to hunt!
Andrew Harris first carry, not much there, and he'll get driven back, and Andrews had some trouble against the Stampeders in their last meeting. 4 carries, 13 yards on the ground.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders make it a real focus, and Andrew Harris has had a personal best year, and this is number 9 for Harris in his CFL career. But when you look at the numbers against Calgary, boy, the Stampeders focus on him. They try to take him out of the Winnipeg offense and make them one-dimensional.
13. They've tracked every time on the bluff.
Go 2nd and long once again. Nichols throws in traffic, and Tompkins unable to hold on.
Well, the timing on the throw from Matt Nichols was as good as it can get. I mean, he put it right in a small area. Jamar Wall had dropped underneath that throw, and look how close he was, but Nichols put it where he had to. Kendrell Tompkins has to come up with that catch.
Run out there and get double
So Romar Morris drops back.
No.
Justin Medlock to punt.
It should be fine. It goes back to gold. You know what I mean? Yeah. That one doesn't have a lot of work. Like 13. Let's do it. Base
Not
13.
deep. Morris fields it around the 34-yard line. And he'll tumble across the 40 to the 43. Bo Levi Mitchell won his first ever game against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, trying to avoid his first ever 3-game losing streak here tonight.
Well, the stakes are high tonight for the Calgary Stampeders. They still haven't locked up first place in the division. They're 12-4, but need to either win or tie tonight to lock up that first place spot and the bye to the Western Final. Winnipeg needs to win or tie to get in the playoffs. They can still be knocked out if they lose this one tonight and then to Edmonton in the final week of the season.
Here's Mitchell throwing. Eric Rogers, the intended target. Incomplete. Little contact downfield, but no flag. Anthony Gator on the play.
Like pretty good timing for Anthony Gator. Widens out and is in coverage here. And let's take a look on the throw and the timing from the tweener linebacker. Good play.
Second and 10, here comes pressure, and a crosser, Chris Matthews, the former Blue Bomber, has the catch just across the 50, but he'll be short of the first down. Sets up 3rd and 2, and maybe a decision for Dave Dickinson, and now the punt team comes on.
It's first, Jesse!
That's too long, and play the field position game here. Dave Dickinson didn't like the no call, I think, on first down.
Hey.
Not enough, too early to challenge something like that.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Kevin Fogg back. Rob Meaver to punt for the 100th time this year. Hogg at the 11. 49-yard punt by Maver. Just 4 on the return, so Matt Nichols and the Bombers backed up, trailing by 3 here, first quarter.
I feel like when it's like really dark like this, like my focus is way better. I don't know why.
Hey, put my jersey down the right way. Somewhere it feels off. What is it not?
Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, go.
Hey, be a beast today, boy.
Oh, hello, Scrubler.
Hello. Today's about this group right here. Take over, man. Let's go.
Well, Bo was focused. It was a later moment there for Matt Nichols. Didn't know he had an English accent.
Go! 120!
Bombers start at their own 15. He stretches it out. There's a flag down. It's a catch for Dressler up around the 35-yard line. That would put him over 10,000 receiving yards if it stands.
Offside, Calgary, number 4. Penalties decline. Play results
So it's
in the
a
first down.
milestone for Weston Dressler as he hits 10K.
Take a look at the route. Nice dig route over the middle. Matt Nichols has a passing lane. Micah Johnson was offside in the play, so it was a free play. They'll take the gain. 20 yards for Weston Dressler.
Bill's got it out.
Congratulations to him, the 17th player in Canadian Football League history to hit 10,000 receiving yards. Andrew Harris follows the block and gets close to 5 more. 11 years in the league for Weston Dressler. And a prestigious milestone.
Now look at the names that it's closing in on. Copeland next, and then
361 Sparrow on 1-on-1, ready?
Earl Winfield.
Surprised he didn't keep the football. At least I didn't notice them take the football away. He wanted the 700th catch.
Well, they're still driving with it. They're still using it.
Well, we got more than one ball. Here's Nichols in trouble and got away to get the throw downfield when it looked like he'd be dropped for a loss.
Now they got to grab it. Now grab that ball and get it for the trophy case for Weston Dressler.
Hey, Bo. Have him go play 2. Okay.
Not sure they realized that first reception was kind of an underhand toss that he might have thought was a running play.
Nice rush down the middle by Essa Marabere. Put the pressure on Matt Nichols.
So Medlock to punt. Morris on the return from the Calgary 30. 31-yard punt and great downfield cover there as the tackle made by Mike Miller. There's a look at one of the key acquisitions in the Canadian Football League this year. Adam Bighill to Winnipeg. And with more on that, here's Matthew Shinetti on the sideline.
Well, Chris, back in late summer, Maurice Leggett told the entire Bombers defensive, all the players, who Adam Bighill was. Many of the rookies didn't really believe him about the reputation of him being a hard hitter. And then one day during practice, Adam Bighill hit Matt Nichols. Not too hard, but Mike O'Shea didn't say anything. At that point, Maurice Leggett said, everyone amongst the defenders knew who Adam Bighill was and how important he was going to be this season. Guys?
He's been every bit as good as the Winnipeg people anticipated. Mike O'Shea's helping the officials right now. But Bighill #1 in defensive plays with 121 on the year. And off inside, and Don Jackson with a good burst up across the 45. And he'll be close to a first down. Adam Bighill, one of the draws was to be able to play for Mike O'Shea.
It's awesome. I mean, me and Coach O'Shea have a ton of great conversations, regarding defense or regarding linebacker. And, it's an experience I haven't really had before with the head coach. And so, it's been a lot of fun. We see things a lot of the same way. And it makes it that much more comfortable for me.
Well, it's a great pairing. Hall of Fame middle linebacker.
Okay, we're going to 2, going to second
Michael
down, second
O'Shea.
down.
Acquiring arguably the best linebacker, middle linebacker in the league. We're going to watch two of the best here tonight in Alex Singleton and Adam Bighill. But it was great yesterday having the conversation with both of them and talking to Michael O'Shea about Bighill. And did you know he was as good as he is before you had him on your own team? And the answer was, oh yeah. We've said many times, even before we had him, he's the best. I've said he's the best. He's great. The best linebacker in the game, according to O'Shea.
Second and inches, they leave Mitchell in. He'll plunge ahead for the first down. Love the fact that that is an old school linebacker. He is mic'd up, and prior to the game he came out and there were heaters on the Winnipeg sideline. He was upset because who put the heaters on? But apparently league rules in the West at this time of the year that there are heaters on both sidelines that have to be provided, much to the chagrin of the old school guy.
He didn't want them. He looked at him, what's that doing on? You can take those away.
Monday! No! 180!
Downstairs. Down to the 49-yard line. Play action swing. Mitchell hit, but got it away. And Markeith Ambles has a first down at the Winnipeg 35. Marcus Sales, the tackle, since you mentioned it, coming off his best game last week. 8 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, and Dave Dickinson
illegal contact
wanted to
on a receiver.
reward that
Winnipeg,
game by
number
keeping
37.
him on the roster.
Penalties decline. Play results on the first down.
Legal contact penalty on the same play, so that was declined because of the catch by Markeith Ambles on a layered route across the middle. Just starting from the right of the formation and then running that deep crossing route, 26-yard gain on Sales.
He's been a quick study through different positions. Ambles is picked up in the Calgary offense. A pass over the middle, almost picked off through the hands of first Ambles and then Brandon Alexander. Bombers lead the league in takeaways and a missed opportunity there.
Well, we talked off the top about Taylor Loeffler is a late scratch here. He was nicked and couldn't make the starting lineup, so Jeff Hecht is starting at safety. Calgary knows a lot about Hecht, how he plays. So does Bo Levi Mitchell. There's Loeffler on the sideline, not dressed. So I'm not going to be surprised at all to see Bo Levi Mitchell try and attack the middle and test Hecht.
Second and 10. Gets it to the wide side. There's Durant, turns and has the first down. Wrestled down by Kevin Fogg on the corner.
Jeff Hecht is an experienced player back there, but this is his first start, and you know that Bo Levi Mitchell's got his eyes on him right now. He's real deep by alignment, hanging in that middle. Now he goes to the out route to Lamar Durant on that one. He's going to test the middle. You can bet on it.
First down straight ahead is Jackson. Anthony Gator first shot, but Jackson able to bounce off for extra yardage.
Dave Dickinson told us yesterday that they've got to get their run game going, and one way to do that is if Chris Matthews and Eric Rogers take their game to another level. If they're working together, they've got a shot. But if the receivers aren't getting open, defenses are collapsing the box and stopping Don Jackson. So they work together.
Jackson 11 for 52 last week. Second and 2 here, they're going to throw. And Chris Matthews has another catch in the Rookie of the Year. Fumbles the football, and the Bombers look like they come up with it. Battling for extra yards, and he coughs it up. And Jake Thomas has the recovery.
Good job. Matthews was fighting for extra yards, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber, Rookie of the Year in 2012 in the Canadian Football League as a Bomber. There's Jeff Hecht getting a chance to get in there. He's not down by contact yet. Does the ball come out before the knee touches?
Yeah,
the hand does not count.
Right, it's out. Yeah, it's out.
Hand is not down by contact, so he's still live here. Still live there.
Now the question, are they going to...
Hey,
they rule
you can't be late on that sting, right? I know they kind of
progress had been stopped or not.
If you
It's all under review, but looks like it's
the
Winnipeg football.
the center with the hand of the ball ready to go, right?
Dickinson, you may not have heard, he may have been muted, but he said that he thought the elbow was down. And it's got the green light, I think, as a turnover. I didn't see the elbow down. The hand is down.
It isn't down.
Knee is down. Unless they like forward progress, as you mentioned, Chris, that's a turnover, that's a fumble.
Landed on Kevin Fogg, but didn't touch down. And it is Winnipeg football. Back at their 5, but that takes points off the board. And here's Dembski. And Dembski holding the newcomer, Rashawn Amos.
Make your getaway with intelligent all-wheel drive in the 2018 Nissan Qashqai.
Here we go.
There's the newcomer, Deshaun Amos on the corner, replacing the injured Trey Roberson.
I think that field half is a high player. We can.
4-yard pickup for Dembski, 2nd and 6.
Go! 120! 120 hot!
Slant and caught by Tompkins. Gabriel Tompkins gets a first down to give Winnipeg some breathing room.
That's the first goal on this drive for Matt Nichols. Get some breathing room. Gabriel Tompkins up there at the top of your screen. Remember early on, and I think it was the first drive for the Bombers, he dropped one, so it goes right back to him.
They got a bunch right.
Converts here. Well, you're right. Goal number 1 for Winnipeg is to get out of the hole, get enough field position so that you can at least punt the ball away if you can't convert.
120! 120 hot!
And off Harris, some room off that left side to the 26-yard line. And that's the pickup of 8.
You mentioned Deshaun Amos over at the short side corner. Now put him in the boundary. Young player, inexperience. Again, like Bo testing Jeff Hecht at safety. Don't be surprised to see Matt Nichols try and test Amos over there with Darvin Adams in the short side corner.
Go! 120! 120 hot!
2nd and 3, back to Harris, straight ahead, and should have the first down.
Well, mission accomplished in goal number 1 in this drive. Get out of the hole, and they've got it. Ball police will work in stages in this play calling. Calls when you're deep in your own end, then you get to the midfield stripe, you can open things up a little bit more, and then you'll have your whole red zone package if you can get that far in this drive.
Here, let's find a hole on this, huh? Maybe a quarter right, 235.
Sexy.
Go! 120! 120 hot!
Should be the final play of the opening quarter on a roll. He'll go complete. Dembski's got the catch, cuts it back, another first down, and Luke Dembski back across the field up to the 45-yard line on the final play to move the chains. So 3 consecutive first downs after the fumble recovery by the Bombers deep in their own zone. They're now plus 14 on the year in the giveaway takeaway. Calgary with the only points of the opening quarter in this pivotal game in the West.
This program may contain coarse language that could offend some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Well, it's a strange stat, but the Bombers have not won a game this year when trailing after any quarter, and yet a pretty good opening quarter. They trail by 3.
Well, it could have been different, except for the turnover you see at the left-hand column for Calgary in the red zone. Winnipeg Blue Bombers get the ball back, and now they've got a drive going almost at midfield. That's a real turning point early in this football game, but both quarterbacks combining for around 71% completion percentage.
But a shootout in August between these two teams looks like it'll be a little bit different here tonight as the defenses dig in. And Winnipeg a first down at their 45-yard line as we pick it up in the second quarter.
There we go. We got trips left tough under 31 wide warp on 1-on-1, right?
Bombers have averaged 33 points in this 4-game win streak. And here's Dembski on the jet. He's got another first down across midfield into Calgary territory.
Nick Dembski's been added in this run game in the back half of the season. He's got 32 carries for a nice 7.1 yard average, and it's going to put a little more pressure on the linebacking core for the Calgary Stampeders when they have to defend the width of the field as well as between the tackles when Andrew Harris carries the ball.
Blunt, ex-Ben State, on 1-on-1, right?
12 for Dembski. First down to Calgary 53. That rookie corner looked good there, didn't he? Deshaun Amos with a quick break on the football.
Yeah, he did. Amos comes downhill here, and he's going to be tested. This is a design play to go to the short side of the field and get Matt Nichols on the roll. When you get on the roll, you basically cut off the old half your receiving core to get it to Darvin Adams in a one-on-one, but Amos was there to answer the call.
Amos signing earlier this month, been a quick fit. Dave Dickinson didn't expect him to be in the lineup this quickly, but because of injury and his quick pickup of the defense, he's there. Nichols gets whacked across. Micah Johnson, but flags fly.
He just pulled him down.
And are they
not from the back?
calling that a body slam?
That's what they are.
That is not a pullback.
Major foul. Force collar tackle. Calgary, number 4. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
A horse collar. Dave Dickinson disagreed. Let's take a look on the replay.
There he is right here. Let's take a look. Micah Johnson, a sack last week against Saskatchewan, also took a penalty that didn't help Calgary's cause. This one
does look like the left hand is right there.
No question. That's a horse collar penalty.
Last week we saw him with a one-handed where he grabbed the shoulder pad, but more on the front side. That on the collar draws the flag and negates what would have been his 13th sack of the year. He's been red hot, 6 sacks in his last 4, 8 in the last 7 games. But one off the board there. And here's Strebler with a little right to the side to the inside for first down. Strebler.
Good try at the English accent. Yeah, a little zone read play here. Now he could actually throw off this too. Now this looks like the design where there's just 2 options. One to give it to Andrew Harris between the tackles. If not, he can pull it if he sees the contained man crashing down to Harris, which happened on that play. The Strebler got the edge.
Left tough. 11 base blunt wide back. I'm ready.
10th play of the drive upcoming. He has 63 rushing yards in the previous 2 games and a 65-yard touchdown against Calgary. And the same play, keeps it again. This time, Calgary rallies to the football and brings him down at the 20, and the pads are popping. Jagarrett Davis in on the tackle.
What a game for Jagarrett Davis the last time these 2 teams played. I mean, you think we're going to talk about sacks right now. Well, he got there, but 2 interceptions against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the last matchup. One went for a touchdown. That from a defensive end.
Fought off the block of Jamarcus Hardrick. Yeah, that last game against Winnipeg would be at the top of his resume. Second down, Nichols back in, and he does flip it away. Andrew Harris has got it. And Harris breaks a tackle or 2. A big first down. What a play by Harris. What a play by Nichols. And the Bombers offense stays on the field.
Talk to Alex Singleton about what makes Andrew Harris great. And there's really 3 aspects to his game that he goes to. There's straight power. There's the stiff arm move when he's out and wide on defenders. And then there's the spin move. And I think we see a little bit of all of it in this run. First, he hits up there with the stiff arm. Little power there. There's the spin move at the end of it. What a run for Andrew Harris.
Jamar Wall, the 4th Calgary Stampeder, finally brought him down, but the 11 and a first down. And a fake to Dressler. Nichols kept the football, but Junior Turner was there to make the play. Cordero Law on hand as well.
I love the way Singleton said, he goes, yeah, you know, the stiff arm, the way I want to beat the stiff arm is to keep my legs moving. When he's power, I'm okay. I like power on power.
Cluster, 35 base whip, Charlie on one-on-one, right?
But that spin move, that spin move is stinky. And he in a good way. It's dirty, he said.
Keelan LaFrance is in for Harris, getting some attention at the bench. Here's Dembski in the flat. Nick Dembski will be dropped around the 6-yard line.
One change in the lineup defensively for Calgary is Jameer Thurman is out, scratched tonight. Winton McManus is in his spot. Now, he's earned the right to the starting lineup through special teams work this year because he's been one of the best for the Calgary Stampeders. 20 special teams tackles. Gets his chance to start tonight. Makes a big play on Dembski right there.
Yeah. See if he clears it, though. He's in good shape. Man, I'm saying you might have to work the stick is what I'm saying. Okay, you may even have to throw the dove.
So Medlock is on, looking for his 40th field goal of the year.
Take the ball.
Bennett the holder, and the left footer takes it through. And the game is tied.
Congratulate you on 40 years calling football. This was a Queens football game back in 1978. And yes, the guy in the middle, my partner, Chris Cuthbert, 40 years ago.
Wow. I'm glad I wasn't wearing the tam, but they went on to the Vanier Cup. I was a bit of a front runner right from the start. Championship team that year in 1978, and a little more hair back then. Well, I'm sure you didn't notice that, but I did.
Hey, the pick. You could have been a Hollywood movie star, man.
Or not. There's a stretch one for Matthews, who brought it down. Up against Kevin Fogg and the former Bomber, all the way to the Winnipeg 10-yard line.
You know, Chris Matthews was looking forward to his return because in 2012, he was the Rookie of the Year for the Bombers, and then in 13 was the new stadium. That was the first year here at Investors Group Field, so he has fond memories coming back here and playing.
Here we go.
In this stadium. Hoped he'd get a nice welcome from the fans. I'm sure he has when he was warming up at the sideline, but home team fans aren't going to like that catch.
2 years here, but a 65-yard play, and already a big night for Chris Matthews. And now it's Durant. Lamar Durant's got some blocking down inside the 5 and a spin move, but he got whacked. A big hit from Jeff Heck. And a flag at the end of that play. They're going to call that a hit shot on the safety, Jeff Heck.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg, number 29. Half distance to the goal at the end of this play. Automatic first down.
Dropped his head.
Well, you know, Jeff Heck makes the hit here. You're going to see him coming from inside out, number 29. Now watch how he drops his chin, kind of leads with his helmet, and the flipper comes up too. Now, this is a close one, but when you see the arm and the flipper come up through it, and the hit to the head, when he ducks his chin, tough for him to react that quickly.
Oh, Nick Arbuckle in, short yardage through, and he breaks the play. Touchdown, Stampeders. What a quick response after the Bombers had tied it.
Hey, base,
regular.
Base. Hey, two.
Arbuckle punches it in, the big play, the 65-yarder to Matthews.
Take a look at this touchdown push here. Nick Arbuckle in behind Cambrai Williams. Crosses the plane right there. Yeah. But you were wondering when Chris Matthews was going to have the breakout game. Third start, he's been around for 4 games. But This is a guy that in the Super Bowl for Seattle had 109 yards on 4 catches. He's 100% healthy. Had to learn the offense. I'm going for 2.
8-14 on these 2-point plays, and a drop by William Longley, and so it remains 9-3. Well, it was a 3-play, 75-yard touchdown drive after Winnipeg went 14 plays, 90 yards for a field goal. And the big play that set it all up went to the former Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
Commentator Outdoor Clothing is brought to you by Nobis. This is Nobis.
Well, it's been a good return back to Winnipeg for Chris Matthews. They're the numbers that won him the Rookie of the Year award in 2012. You mentioned the Super Bowl, and my memory of it was that he was having his way against New England in the first half.
Yeah.
And what did the Patriots have to do? They took Brandon Browner and put Browner on him in the second half and got him kind of contained a little bit, but it was a memorable Super Bowl performance. And a ball comes loose, and Calgary's got on it. So a touchdown, and then they cough it up, and Falarin Arimalade came up with the football. And the turnover's now even at 1 apiece, but it's Stampeder momentum.
Anytime you go back across the grain, you got to be hanging on better. Same thing with that offensive play. I told you right after that.
Well,
you got to be doing better, right? Anytime you go back across the grain.
Hey, TV. Hey.
Coach O'Shea coaching up Nick Dembski to say, hey, if you're going to cut back into traffic, back against the grain, boy, you got to secure the ball because you're not sure where the hits are going to come from.
And that one might have been friendly fire. Looked like Mike Miller might have collided with his teammate and knocked the ball out.
Hey, Greek Vegas! Greek Vegas!
Well, Mitchell right back on the field at the Winnipeg 25-yard line. Fake to Jackson. Pressure's coming from Tristan Okaluko, and he'll ride him out just beyond the line of scrimmage.
There was a hot route that Bo Levi Mitchell wanted. He took that shotgun snap, and he was ready to throw.
Say Greek Vegas.
He was ready to throw in a heartbeat. Watch this. He takes a shotgun snap, and he gets it ready. He's right there. He's ready to throw, but he doesn't like what he sees. So now he's got to extend the play. Doesn't like it. Coverage is there. Good decision not to force it.
2nd and 9. Here comes pressure, stands in and throws, overthrows Durant, and Fogg can't hang on. That's a couple of drops in that Winnipeg defensive backfield tonight.
You know, Fogg, Kevin Fogg has been Mr. Everything for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. In fact, I asked Coach O'Shea yesterday if he thought maybe he should be in consideration for MOP nomination because he has been so good for the Bombers, leads their team in interceptions, coming in with 4, but he's fighting it tonight. He got beat on the Chris Matthews deep ball too. Maybe just a little bit overhyped, got to settle down a little bit. Settle in, had an interception there and he dropped it.
And Paredes up and good, and they get 3 out of the fumble and lead 12-3, but they do come away with points because Kevin Fogg unable to hang on to that potential interception. John Road to the Grey Cup continues tomorrow. The second game of that back-to-back showdown between the Red Blacks and Tiger Cats. Ottawa trying to clinch the East with a win. Action gets underway at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, and then the nightcap of the doubleheader, the Lions and the Rough Riders in a battle for playoff positioning. And then at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN 1, 3, and 5.
As you mentioned, Rider fans hoping Winnipeg wins this game.
Unheard of. Hey, he can't do that! He can't do that!
Play comes down before the play gets away. What can he do? Let's find out.
Offside. Winnipeg. Number 10. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Dembski called on the play.
Here we go.
But a rough sequence for him after the fumble on the last kickoff.
Yeah, a couple.
64 boost on 1-on-1, right?
A couple of the Bombers have to kind of settle in. Dembski, one of them. They let one mistake turn into two and then turn into a bad game.
Harris back on offense. And a completion to Darvin Adams. Let's check in on the sidelines again. Here's Matthew.
Chris, after that last offensive series for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Andrew Harris came off, as you noted, and he was looking at the ring finger and the pinky finger on his left hand. They were looking at it quite close to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers staff, and then he did some soft tossing with Matt Nichols, no grimacing, and then he came over to me and said that he dislocated a finger on his left hand. I asked him if he was okay. He said, "I'm fine," but it's something to watch, guys.
See how that affects his receiving ability. Second down. And makes the catch there, no problems.
Get on field!
But short of the first down, what is forward progress looks like not enough to entice Mike O'Shea. And Medlock and the punt team come on.
Yeah, they're going to be well short. You're 2 yards short. Michael O'Shea through the break in the last 5-8 minutes has been up and down the bench.
Back up a bit!
Talking to his DBs about catching the football, concentrating.
Back up a bit! Just a bit back up! Back up! Back up ahead!
3rd and 2. Anything on here in this unusual formation? Medlock boots it away. And it's Morris across the 30-yard line, trying to pick up a block, but none there. And he'll get dropped around the 32.
2 returners? Okay, Bo, let's before we had Joker out there, right?
Well, tune in Sunday at halftime of the Argo Alouette game as we reveal the Kraft Heinz Project Play $250,000 grand prize winner live.
All right, let's go. Don't show early. Fly to rebel right, W step, 162, Brant spike, backside hoe. On money, ready? Stand in.
Protection for Bo Levi Mitchell, and the pass caught by Eric Rogers.
5.5.
Well, he loves playing here. Bo Levi Mitchell feels very comfortable in Investors Group Field, and when you look at the numbers, see the results. 6-0, completion percentage over 70, 12-7 touchdowns to interception. Says it reminds him of Seattle Stadium. And he played in Seattle Stadium when he was at Eastern Washington.
Next game, let's go! Monday!
Big Hill is blitzing and
Time count.
flag is tossed. It is a time count violation. No
Time count violation. Calgary, number 19.
And like
5-yard
Seattle,
penalty remains.
it gets loud
Second
here.
down.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Level right, 60. Tomahawk, wide in. Backside Walker, 3-20. On money, ready?
Second and 10. Mitchell stands in. Pass caught. Flag down. Markeith Amble's the catch. Taken down by Gator.
Markeith Adams was right at the marker. This would be a new set of downs. The flag, I think, is going to be illegal contact.
Base.
Or even interference on Anthony Gator, who was covering Ambles or attempting to.
What? What's the penalty?
Illegal contact on a receiver. Winnipeg, number 23. Penalties declined. Play results in a first down.
Yeah, illegal contact, Anthony Gator contacting with Markeith Ambles on the entire route, so well past the 5-yard mark, and they'll take the play in the first down, decline the penalty.
Monday, go! 180, wide hook!
Inside Jackson looking for a hole, and Big Hill met him. And with some help, brings him down for a loss.
And this is what we're talking about in the opening. 2 great linebackers tonight One's number 1 in tackles. Adam Bighill, number 2. Behind,
Here we go.
Alex Singleton.
Level left. W slide. Ugly 60.
Defensive
W flat.
plays. Adam Bighill 1. Alex Singleton, number 2. They're on the marquee tonight.
Monday. Go. 180.
Back in coverage this time. And down goes Levi Mitchell. As the Bombers get to the quarterback for the second time tonight. And some post-whistle activity.
And he faced that the whole time.
Looked like it was Brandon Bryant, the big defensive tackle, that got there first.
Well, that's about as fired up as I've ever seen Bo Levi Mitchell coming up from a pile. I want to show you why he had to hold the ball. Adam Bighill on that last play, he went on the blitz. Look where Bighill's lined up this time, like he's playing a deep safety spot. Like they're going to play cover 2 deep with Adam Bighill as one of the deep players, but then he jumps in the hole. Pocket collapses around Bo Levi Mitchell.
Second sack of the season for the rookie defensive tackle, Brandon Bryant. So Maver to punt. Kevin Fogg awaits. Pressure on, and Maver gets taken down, but they're going to allow play to continue. No flag. 51-yard punt. Fogg though gets away and gets dragged down. That's a huge tackle by a Ribolade, or Fogg would still be running.
Found a lower price on tires? We'll match it, guaranteed.
Injured player John Rush, who nearly got to Maver. Oh, excuse me, it's Jesse Briggs, the injured Bomber.
Next one, we got to
see what happened to Briggs. Looking for number 34 on the kick return team. There he is. He goes through and was contacted, but he got pushed by Jones. And then at the other end, boy, Kevin Fogg was one player away from a touchdown, punt return touchdown.
See umpire Tim Croker immediately signaled push, so no flag on the play. And Briggs continues to get attention. 50-year man out of McGill. Tangerine Raptors basketball continues Monday. The Raptors take on the Bucks. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN2. So 9-point Calgary lead. The only touchdown in the game, a quarterback sneak by Nick Arbuckle.
Got to get rid of it.
We're getting Fogg rolling in here.
Why wouldn't he just do it exactly like the Gator?
Hey, Q1. You got trip strike bunch, 39 sucker, fullback across on Q1, right?
Gotta take a hit. They get one over there, but we're working.
He's part of the Halifax theme of the night here. All excited about the potential of a stadium in Halifax. And it's a foggy night here in Winnipeg. And Andrew Harris with a burst. Well, he found some daylight, didn't he? Best run of the game. It's a 29-yard romp. And suits that just the third rush of over 20 yards against Calgary all season long.
Yeah, he hits it, gets some blocks, a nice kick-out block from Stanley Bryant, the left tackle. Patrick Neufeld also gets big on big.
64 glance,
Andrew Harris,
right?
one of his biggest runs against the Stampeders.
They pointed this way, right?
Go! 120, time!
First down for Kidder. Adams has got it. In front of Deshaun Amos. Another first down for the Bombers.
Matt Nichols had to fit that in because Winton McManus was dropping underneath that. And as he's dropping
Ranger.
if he doesn't get rid of it immediately on that slant route and hit Darvin Adams right out of the break, 48 gets in the throwing lane. 16-yard gain.
Be ready on the bubble
because it was on time.
Right. 109, bubble pump X stutter on 101 right.
Keep playing now.
Ken Burrell Tompkins is checked in.
Go! White 20! White 29!
Make the swing pass. They're going to go the other way. Deep for Adams, and he couldn't find the football. Never could track it. Not sure we'll blame that on the fog, but he had trouble finding the football, and it'll be 2nd and 10 when we come back as we hit the 3-minute warning here at Investors Group Field. .238 remaining here in the opening half. Then it's halftime with the guys. Rod, Matt, Milt, and an ascot-wearing Davis Sanchez, which I believe is the first in CFL on TSN history.
Took it up a notch.
Be ready on the outside here. Hey, we got Czar left, R zoom, 774, Denver, Y stutter, X8, drive check on 101 right.
Challenge the rest of the panel. I thought Stiegel would be the first.
I was going to say.
If like Matt Nichols, he'll speak with an English.
10. Nichols loading it up again, and he'll overthrow Nick Dembski, who had a step. Out sprinted to Delicae, but a little too hot, and the field goal team will come on.
Well, that's back-to-back shots to the end zone that one the receiver didn't see, and Darvin Adams on first down. And you saw Dembski with that bend trying to push a Delicae into the middle, and then he just hits it right down the seam, and he's 3 or 4 yards in behind coverage, and Nichols missed it.
35-yard field goal attempt for Medlock, who is up and good. And it's a 6-point Calgary lead now with just over 2 minutes to go here in the opening half. To the Calgary sidelines, here's Matthew Shinetti.
Well, we've been hearing Bo Levi Mitchell be rather vocal, Chris, about what's going on in the offense, and really that maybe is down to the fact that he has a makeshift receiving core. Bo Levi Mitchell has needed a lot of patience recently, and maybe he learned a lot about that in 2015, because remember, the Calgary Stampeders offensive line was decimated by injuries, so much so they needed defensive linemen like Quinn Smith to play on the offensive line. That's the reason why Bo Levi Mitchell wants to win this game, not so much for the rest, but for more time to get on the same page of his offense, to really go ahead and fix the installation so that everyone come the West Final is on the same page. Guys,
go get it. Saying, man,
was
more of a guessing game, but
you
looks like
mentioned,
not really going through,
you can see that growing chemistry between him
even
and
in man,
Chris
trying to
Matthews.
leave 45 the big window, or that one where it looked like 2 men brought him down. So I think you're more corner windows or corner area.
Telling the coach and play caller what he likes.
Yeah, it sounds like he's maybe looking at some corner routes, some corner areas that he might try to attack in this Bomber defense.
And that might be more Chris Matthews. Omar Morris. And a return just beyond the 30-yard line, or right at the 30. Well, let's see what Dave Dickinson calls to start this drive.
Hey, someone go back and get Meddy's. Doesn't do it.
X left tight. 31 trap alert. 39 Oscar Force. On Monday, ready? Ball rapid.
Stamp start at their 30-yard line, a 6-point lead.
Alert! Go! 180! 180!
Well, they start on the ground. Don Jackson trying to skip by. Bubbles back, loses 4 yards all the way back around the 19-yard line. Jovan Santos-Knox.
Javon Santos-Knox makes the tackle. Marcus Sales makes the play. And you're looking for nominees. Outstanding rookie right here to the right of your screen, number 36. Watch how he gets upfield really quickly and forces Don Jackson to bounce it wide, allowing Santos-Knox to get there.
Yeah, Sales certainly in that conversation. So is the injured Trey Roberson in Calgary. And there's a young Taylor in Ottawa. We better acknowledge. 2nd and 20. Mitchell in trouble. Steps up, and now he'll get dropped around the 24. Got back across the line of scrimmage, but kind of cut his losses there.
Adam Bighill asked him yesterday, I said, is it just me, or are you blitzing more and doing it more effectively than I've ever seen you do it? And he said he's in the meetings with the defensive ends, he's working with Oplugo, but more than anything, he said Richie Hall is calling a lot of middle linebacker blitzes, and I love it.
3rd 2 and out. Neighbors line drive boot. Couple of hops to Fogg. And Anthony Mladenovic leader downfield in a hurry to make that tackle. So there's time.
You know, I mentioned Matt Nichols still trying to get his first win against the Calgary Stampeders. As an Edmonton Eskimo, he's 0-4. As a Bomber, he's 0-4. But when you look at his numbers against Calgary, they're pretty good. I mean, he's upward 62%. That's a good touchdown to interception ratio at 14-7. A couple of 300-yard passing games. So, you know, a couple of them he's been in. Most recently.
No! 120! 129!
Well, they've let a few get away. 1 or 2 plays been cost leaders. They check down to Demski, and he gets tossed down around the 48 by Wynton McManus. And replacing Jameer Thurman, who had a 10-tackle game against the Bombers back in August.
eBay!
Got on it.
Going.
Yo, they're on!
The other side looking. Almost picked off. Ciante Evans. Unable to bring that down. Intended for Harris.
House call right there.
You know, tempo offense is a good thing. That was almost picked off. You're right. Evans almost got there. But there's a downside. You know, sometimes it's better to get in the huddle and make sure everybody's exactly where they need to be.
Medlock kicking it away from Morris. Great kick that slides down inside the 15. Morris does a nice job on the return, but a flag is tossed as he brings it back to the 23, 50-yard punt.
Usually means an illegal block.
Dave Dickinson's reaction would suggest it's going against Calgary.
One, Ranger. Play 2, sorry. Play 2, Bo, my bad. 2.
There's no infraction on this play. The player was knocked out of bounds and legally came back in bounds.
Okay, so an illegal participation call that was picked up. Doesn't affect the field
we
position.
want to stay in bounds.
Wyatt's right, 35, go. Wyatt slot. On Monday, ready?
Doesn't seem like there's any indication from Mitchell or from Dickinson that they're going to just get out of the half here with the lead. They're pushing it.
Right ahead, Jackson up to the 30-yard line. See if Mike O'Shea stops the clock here.
2.5, 3.
Talked about a possible quick out just before the start of this series to...
Hey, hurry. Hey, we're going on Monday. Wyatt's right.
Oh, was a pickup at close to 8, so...
Warrior Vegas for something else.
Calgary's in second and short.
Monday, go.
Surprised they're not working the clock a little bit more. Jackson again. And he's got a first down.
Well, it looked like Chris Dickinson was saying, let's go for points, but with 2 running plays back-to-back, they're trying to grind it down and
he
take the
did
lead.
say stay in bounds, which is not what you'd be trying to do if you're using the clock and try to get downfield. But
yeah, that's why I said it. I mean, he said stay in bounds, and he called a couple of routes.
Monday,
Sound like they were trying to get in field goal range.
Here comes Bighill. Now he throws downfield and overthrows Brescison, incomplete.
Hey.
17 seconds left. They need about 20 yards to get into field goal range, but
level right, 62, Scary wide flat, backside 6. On Monday, ready?
Almost like the first down on the run has changed their perspective on the drive. Big Hill has dropped back deep again, almost playing safety. Mitchell bouncing around, unloads it to Morris, cuts back into traffic, and he'll be dropped at the 40, third down.
No,
and that will
they should just run it out.
Just about do it.
What do we got? Glenn, what do we got?
They blow this in, they'll just take a knee. And
hey, victory, take a knee. On goal, ready?
Calgary will take the lead in at halftime. Good first half on the road against a Bomber team.
Go.
It's coming off 4 in a row, 4 wins in a row.
Calgary 184 yards in the first half, 194 for the Bombers, but it is the visitors with the lead at halftime. 12-6 the score as we join the boys and Rod Smith.
Thank you, Chris. The boys are the man with the ascot, Davis Sanchez, Matt Dunnigan, Milt Stegall. Hey, we're just not going to let go. It's just too much fun.
Lucky's not a triple header.
Absolutely is. I'll tell you what. Hey, these are the top 2 teams when it comes to giveaway, takeaway, turnover ratio, and we're seeing big examples of that in this half.
Yeah, and that equates to offenses being on the field. And these are the top 2 scoring offenses in the CFL, and the big reason because they're on the field, because their defense and special teams create turnovers. You look at this play right here. Chris Matthews, former Bomber, struggling trying to get in. Santos Knox makes a great play. That's similar to what the Blue Bombers did against Ottawa in overtime a few weeks ago to get the victory. Chris Matthews has to tuck that ball in and keep it tight. Well, Calgary says, okay, we can come back. We know how to do this too. So they create a turnover. Dembski not keeping it tucked in. Calgary has the ball, score off of it. The team who creates the least amount of turnovers is usually the team that's going to win. Now, we saw what these teams can do when they create turnovers. Now those scoring opportunities, they're going to come about. We're going to see what's happening in the second half because we know someone else is going to slip up and create a turnover, or someone else is going to slip up and have that turnover. So whichever team can do the less of that is the team is going to win.
A couple big plays and a couple missed plays as well. And some guy that always is making plays on the football, that's Kevin Fogg. And we saw earlier on here, Bo Levi Mitchell throws a great ball to Kevin Fogg, to Chris Matthews on the sideline here. Matthews does a great job giving himself room on the sideline there to adjust. It's difficult for a defensive back to turn and look for the ball and play the ball like that when his back is to the receiver. It's a great play by Matthews, but that's why Kevin Fogg is a playmaker. That's why he's got 4 interceptions. He looks back and tries to make a play on the ball, not playing it safe like most guys would. That's why they're plus 13, and he's got 4. But he's going to have only 4 for the whole season if he drops those free cookies. Kevin Fogg, that was a nice route by Lamar Durant. But opportunities like that, you know the deal, guys. Your best player's got to be your best player, and Kevin Fogg is that guy. Couple drops there from Kevin Fogg early.
It's not bringing back nightmares for you or anything, is it?
Yeah, it actually does. But
you had 26 picks over your course.
A few more, Mill.
Yeah, keep
28, sorry.
Tell you what, so good defensive perspective. Offensive perspective, one of the great receivers in the history of the CFL, Weston Dressler, quite the milestone.
No question. And I wanted to highlight Weston Dressler because of his milestone. And sometimes as a receiver, you get gifts. And this is a gift a la Paul LaFelice, your offensive coordinator. Well-designed play. Usually these type of plays go outside. No, it opens up for you on the inside. Then here, this is what he's made a living at. With his diminutive size, he's very small, as we all know, but he's fearless when he comes across the middle. And here, Matt Nichols finds him over the middle in between 4 receivers for his catch that puts him over 10,000 yards, becoming the 17th player in the CFL to do so. So he's got 713 receptions and over 10,000 yards receiving because of plays like that, making a difficult catch make look easy. Congratulations to Weston Dressler.
Congrats to him.
Yeah.
I played against him. He's a tough dude. As much as he makes plays across the middle and guys want to kill him, he never says a word. Just spikes the ball, throws it back, and walks away. He's tough. Congratulations, Weston Dressler.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
10,000 yards. He does.
That's pretty impressive.
That's
very impressive. Also, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they got Dembski involved. That's pretty impressive. He had the fumble, but besides that, He's been having a great game.
And Bo Levi Mitchell, man, in the first half here, I know he's upset because he's throwing a lot of balls high, and it has to do with pressure that he's getting in his face and his technique now, and he's got to figure that out in the second half.
Some points taken off the board for the Stampeders. How do you think the Edmonton Eskimos are doing right now? Watching with a bye, needing Calgary to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. We're going to talk Ottawa-Hamilton when we come back at the half.
Milestone for Weston Dressler as he hits 10K.
Oh, hello, Strebler. Hello.
And here's Strebler to the inside for first down. Strebler. Matthews who brought it down all the way to the Winnipeg 10-yard line.
It is the playoffs before the playoffs. This is goal! The can't miss kid does it again. Touchdown, what a catch! Deontay Spencer! You did not do that. Round 2 of the season series goes to the Ottawa Redblacks. This does not look good. Brandon Banks, who has been dropped on the sideline.
The guy who was just ripping the league apart, he's gone, and Hamilton has to wonder, how do we do in the playoffs? How do we get to the playoffs?
There is DeAndre Jordan, star center with the Dallas Mavericks, arriving in Toronto to play the Raptors tonight. Why is he wearing 58? Hamilton Tiger Cats. His younger brother, Avery Jordan, wears that number with the Cats on the Hamilton practice roster. Big one for his team coming up tomorrow against the Ottawa Redblacks, Matty. And no Brandon Banks in the rematch. The Ticats have to win to have a chance at first place still, and that is just such a big blow to their team.
Yeah, it is. Maybe they get DeAndre Jordan to suit up for him. That'd be a nice target. Yeah, and right now, Jeremiah Mazzoli, quarterback for the Hamilton Ticats, is really looking for answers and looking for receivers to throw the football to as they're dying around him. You know, they're just, and he's much like Bo Levi Mitchell has been this year, with his number one weapons going down, and Chris Williams, Jalen Sanders, Terrence Tolliver, and now Brandon Banks. It's over 100 yards of receptions a game. And no disrespect to the rest of the receiving corps of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but this team's different without Brandon Banks, who's been the best receiver, arguably the best in the CFL this year. So I find it hard for this offense to morph into something that they haven't been. And,
do they have to, though?
Control the line of scrimmage. I think well, yeah, they're going to have to find a way to be productive. Another guy's going to have to step up. And I don't know if Luke Tasker can handle that load.
Well, on the other side, you look at Trevor Harris. Trevor Harris, you know, he's shown signs where he can be a great quarterback. Great quarterbacks in games like this, they close it out. The Ottawa Redblacks have a chance to close out and be the champions in the East. If Trevor Harris wants to consider himself great, and we've seen signs of it, these are the type of games that great quarterbacks win, and they get it done early.
And this, for me, is the Ticats defense. They understand this is a different offense now. They're going to have to step up big time, and they're the guys that can do that. And also, we always talk about stretching the field. And that's vertically, but the Hamilton offense got to stretch it horizontally because they don't have the same vertical stretches, screens, swings, things like that to get the ball spread out horizontally.
I think they got the running back, Green and John White. They got a couple horses there.
RPOs with Mazzoli uses legs as well.
If the Ticats win, it'll come down to the final week. Otherwise, Redblacks get the bye into the East Final for the third time in 4 years. Yes, Jeremy and the Delicious Hounds are performing at Investors Group Field at the half, where the Bombers are trailing the Calgary Stampeders 12-6. We'll be back. Presenting Mr. Davis Sanchez Esquire with the halftime stats.
Stats, sir. It's only 12-6 at halftime here, but $1.94 for Winnipeg, $1.83 for the Stamps. I think both these teams feel like they left some points on the field and are kicking themselves in the butt going into halftime.
Well done, sir. Here's Chris Matthews now with Matthew Shinetti.
Chris, we all know your talent. What are the ingredients to keep building that chemistry with Bo Levi Mitchell?
Just constantly being around each other, you know, just making sure that we're on tight with all the plays and everything. You know, after practice, we're sitting in the locker next to each other, going over plays, doing things like that, just to keep that fight going between each other. You know, that's the key thing between quarterback and receiver.
We all know what you did in this city, being the Rookie of the Year a few years ago. What is it like to be back in Winnipeg?
It's amazing, man. I'm glad, you know, these guys embraced me. You know, it's just love, man. I love Winnipeg. They treat me right every time I come out here, man. And I give my hat off to them. I take my hat off to them.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
These are the biggest offensive plays. 65-yard reception, leading to the only touchdown by Calgary. They got the 6-point lead. Second half about to begin on TSN.
program may contain coarse language that could offend some viewers. Discretion is advised.
It's Friday Night Football, yeah! Boys are all here gonna run off the show, come on!
I'd like to welcome viewers who are watching the Jets beat Detroit 2-1 on TSN 3. It's 12-6 here for the Stampeders as we head to the second half, but first to the sidelines. Matthew Shinetti's with Andrew Harris.
Andrew, we know how much you love to be physical. How is that left hand?
Sore. I mean, you get in these games and things happen, and you know, you get bumps and bruises. So I'm just trying to not think about it and just try to play ball right now.
We all know how physical their defense is inside the 20-yard line. What is going to be the key to drive the ball past the goal line?
We just got yards in certain situations. We've gotten down to the score zone a couple times, but we got to get 6s instead of 3s.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Harris now 48 yards back of William Powell in the rushing race. After that first half of 45 yards on the ground, including a 29-yarder. That was the difference. It's a touchdown for Paul Levi Mitchell and the Calgary offense. A couple of field goals for Winnipeg in that first half.
Paul Levi Mitchell on pace for over 300 yards passing. David Sanchez said it at halftime. Both these teams left some points on the field. They want to finish their drives, turn 3s into 6s.
Long patches continue to roll through here at Investors Group Field as we start the second half. Nick Dembski bumped out just beyond the 25-yard line by Riley Jones. Let's take a look at Andrew Harris' body of work in the opening 30 minutes.
Well, you saw the numbers. He had 5 rushes for 45 yards. Caught the ball a couple times out of the backfield, but maybe if you're a Bomber fan, you're looking for positives. He did have a 29-yard run, and it was after he hurt his finger right here. 29-yard run. One of the longest against this Calgary defense in his career.
Over 1,300 rushing yards this year. Personal best for Harris. And a play-action fake to him for Darrell Law in pursuit, and the pass out of the reach of Wolodarski on that sideline pattern.
I don't know if the staff would alert him to switch it. One switched, one didn't, right?
So right out of the gate, Matt Nichols going to a little play action here with his tailback in Andrew Harris and getting out around the edge. He's taking a look at the defense, how they play it, pulls the ball, gets outside because he saw Darrell Law go down to try and stop Harris if he would have had the ball. Just missed on the throw.
Yo! White 20! White 20, hunt!
Second and 10. Comes it off, and Dembski can't make the catch. And it's a 2-and-out to start.
Stanley Bryant, the left tackle, is trying to rally the troops here so that they don't drop their head.
Yep.
And you just saw that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
I'm thinking in
talking at halftime with other teams. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, quick 2-and-out to start the second half. Not what they wanted.
Slow step, first up.
The veteran and Stanley Bryant just rallied the group.
He had me looking for a flag. He seemed pretty excited.
Yeah. Don't drop your head.
That's all part of it.
By the way, the Bombers in the 4-game win streak have won the time of possession battle on average by 5.5 minutes. They had the ball for over 3 minutes in that first half. And Romar Morris has set up something for Calgary, as Calgary's return game has been good here tonight, and he brings it back close to the 50-yard line.
Now, if you're a Calgary Stampeder fan, or in the case of tonight's game, an Edmonton Eskimo fan or an Edmonton Eskimo, you've got to be excited about the fact that Chris Matthews and Bo Levi Mitchell hooked up for a big one in that first half.
On Monday, ready? Not the boundary leg. He's got to shoot the field
Still
leg.
wrapping my head around this Edmonton cheering for Calgary thing.
So are they, I'm sure.
Mitchell going through the reeds, then going deep, and just out of the reach of Breskison. Just a stride too far. 2nd and 10.
Now, Breskison has not been in the starting lineup all season long. Excuse me. There he is right there, right in that 3 spot. The quads to that side of the field. And Gustafson's limited time as a starter, but has been around all season long. Shouldn't have a chemistry issue with him.
Second and 10. Pressure coming. Mitchell got it away. There's a drop. Matthews can't hold on to that, and both teams go 2 and out to start.
Well, and Chris Matthews well short of the first down with coverage right beside him anyway. Even if he makes that catch, he's still 4 yards short. Is it just me, or both these teams look a little tight in the first half? I mean, there's some drops and some nervousness, like Dembski with a fumble that he doesn't normally.
Stakes are high.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that Calgary history, maybe in the back of the minds of the Bombers. And the Stamps aren't usually on 2-game losing streaks coming into a big game. That ball bounces out of bounds, and it will be first down at the 29, where Alex Singleton of the Stamp defense will try and dig in. Updated numbers after the first half. Alex Singleton with a 5-tackle lead in that department. If you joined us late, we did mention that Adam Bighill has more defensive plays, a combination of sacks, knockdowns, tackles for losses, fumble recoveries, forced fumbles, but been an interesting race between these two premier middle linebackers. And off to Harris, and Singleton on the scene.
Well, 49 is one of the reasons, maybe the main reason, that Andrew Harris has struggled against Calgary, rushing the football. One of the great run stoppers in the game, Alex Singleton.
Here we go. Hey, we got quads left. 65, R-shot, X4 on bolt, right?
Dave Dickinson said his defense wasn't locked in last week. It has been much sharper here so far tonight. Second down to the sidelines. Darvin Adams has the catch in front of Deshaun Amos.
Well, that's 1-1 in that matchup. Amos, the newcomer, in the short side corner. That's a close corner, meaning closer to the quarterback, and that's usually where the primary target at wide receiver is. And for Matt Nichols, it's Darvin Adams.
109, Hobo Carp on 101, right? 109.
Amos has a knockdown, and Darvin Adams a completion in front of him.
Go! White 20! White 20, done!
Play action fake over the middle. Dembski gets that catch. And he's into Stampeder territory at the Calgary 49-yard line.
That's a nice catch by Dembski because he had to fight it. He knew it was in that danger zone. This is where they're throwing it to the spot. Nichols goes play action, and see how he fights it up high.
Get ready, hot here.
Gets down to protect himself from a hit.
138, R-ride, wide back pig, X2 on 101, ready?
5th catch of the night, 49 yards for Nick Dembski. Ball getting a little thicker.
White 20! White 20, done!
Take the Dressler, pressure coming, and he'll get tossed down. Tackle made by S.A. Marabere, and it will be a sack for the 4th-year man out of Laurier.
This play just did not look right. Look at Nick Dembski coming across the formation, and Weston Dressler across the formation. Maybe Dembski was the lead blocker, and it was just the timing that was off. They shouldn't have been there at the exact same time.
Go! White 20! White 20!
Hey, jump! Hey, jump! They're on the
Offside flag do get thrown. Adams in behind coverage. Touchdown! 50-yard touchdown strike. Nichols to Adams.
Offside. Calgary, number 95. Penalties decline. Play results in a touchdown.
Out of free play with Jagarrett Davis offside, and Nichols connects with Adams for his 10th touchdown of the year.
Yeah, we'll take a look at what coverage Calgary was going with. I don't think it was a man look, but it was on that short side of the field with the matchup we've talked about, Darvin Adams against Deshaun Amos, and you can see 40 in that trail position. Almost looked like he thought he had help over the top. Two-1 Adams in the matchup.
Adams, one catch, 72-yard touchdown against Saskatchewan, and a big 50-yarder here. And now Medlock to break the tie.
Easy work. Easy work. What I say? We're both doing this shit. What's gonna happen?
5 plays, 81-yard touchdown drive.
And a fired up Matt Nichols right to the bench, went and talked to almost every single one of his teammates, saying, okay, let's go right now.
And Justin Medlock has just hit his 60th consecutive convert. So the Bombers take the lead here, early third quarter on a 50-yarder to Darvin Adams.
Take a look at the coverage. There's Brandon Smith playing the halfback, and there's Deshaun Amos right there playing the corner. Now let's take a look at how Darvin Adams got in behind him. As they drop here, it looks like Brandon Smith jumps in crossing route, almost like a cover 3 deep zone here, and he's supposed to be in the outside third, not jumping underneath here. And on the outside, Deshaun Amos thought he had over-the-top help. Delacate's way too far. He's in the middle, playing the middle zone.
Getting a little soupier here. And it's Morris on the return, picks his way close to the 35-yard line. Big hill on the teams being on the
Good job, Keenan. Good job, Keenan. Brilliant.
The only other possibility coverage-wise, it could have been a combination, zone one side, man on the other. And Darvin Adams does make a nice double move on Amos on the outside. Either way, it looked like number 40 needed help over the top, didn't have it. Touchdown throw by Matt Nichols.
Monday!
It's not the 62 Grey Cup yet, but it's getting quicker. And a pass complete to Morris. Shoved out of bounds by Marcus Sales. And they'll mark that at the 39-yard line. Pickup of close to 6.
Let's go. Onyx to X.
Settling in.
Should be Kevin Falk tonight, don't you think?
C-Press, F-Press, backside WT to T-League. I'm running, ready? Go. Denver. Monday. Go.
Second and 4.
180, high.
Three receivers wide side. Mitchell going to look that way. Going to stretch it, looking to go against Kevin Falk, and a catch for Lamar Durant. Well, you fight fire with fire and fog with fog.
Went after him.
Go, Lamar.
On the outside, Lamar Durant, a little bit of an inside bend, and then he is straight down the numbers. And Fogg lost it in the fog.
All right, left, fancy.
43-yard connection. That's 2 big plays passing for Mitchell tonight against the defense that's given up the fewest big play passing plays in the league this season. Here's down inside the 30. And the pass caught by Durant. This time Marcus Sales puts it into it, and he's had another strong game and a fine rookie season.
Well, it's a great tackle, and it's a great hit to come up and make the play that quickly. But just a small coaching point here, when you're coming up to make a tackle, make sure you wrap up with your arms, because there are great players offensively that can bounce off that hit and go and get that extra 10, 15 yards they need for first down. But that was a great play by Sid.
Loss of 2, second and 12. We're going to air this out, corner road, and incomplete.
I want to see this one. Go back. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back.
Eric Rogers, the intended target.
That's procedure.
Hey, Port! 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 Defensive pass interference, Winnipeg, number 23. Ball spotted at the 1 yard line, automatic first down.
So pass interference against Anthony Gator is the call.
I'll tell you one thing, this fog is going to start to affect coaches wanting to challenge at some point. There's the corner route right here by Eric Rogers. He's going to be covered by Anthony Gator. Anthony Gator does make early contact. Ball's in the air now. I know you can't see it, but you see how he hits him just before the ball arrives.
29-yard penalty. Checking it on the sidelines, but no challenge. And here's Arbuckle, left side. Trying to reach in there, and Adam Bighill, I think, prevented it. No, it's going to be second and goal. Official right on the play as Bighill makes it as it comes your way.
Hey, you can.
Santos, Knox, and Bighill combine, and that ball doesn't cross the plane.
Injured Stampeder down there.
And anything close is reviewed anyway.
And it's Ucombre Williams who's going to have to take a knee, and it's another issue for that offensive line that's been revamped again this year. Spencer Wilson will have to come in. Wilson could play every position on that offensive line. We've seen Nyla Kazatati play center as well, so find out how they want to refit, and it will be Spencer Wilson to go to center. Your man out of the Calgary Colt organization. And while Williams gets attention, we'll step aside here. Calgary knocking at the door. Rail travel's never been mightier, an epic journey across the globe on some of the most luxurious, fastest, high-tech trains on the planet. An all-new episode of Mighty Trains Sunday at 7 Eastern only on Discovery. So we're told right shoulder for Ucombre Williams. Spencer Wilson in at center, second and goal. Calgary trying to regain the lead here. On the Bomber 1 yard line. And Arbuckle again. This time, is he in? And the official said no.
Spencer Wilson got away with one too after the play was over, throwing a bomber to the ground, but Arbuckle hit again.
And it didn't look like he got there. That play would be reviewed, but you could see the surge got stuck in a hurry.
Go.
Can they do it a third time, or does Calgary punch it in with Mitchell back in the game? Fake to Jackson, or pass to the outside, and it is caught.
Whoa.
Markeith Ambles, a double clutch, but a touchdown.
Had to catch it twice.
Going for 2.
But he got it.
Yes, sir. Where we at?
And on third down on the 1 yard line, Dave Dickinson says, forget short yardage. Respect for the Bomber defense and Adam Bighill in the middle after 2 stops, and he goes to the air on 3rd and 1 from the 1. Double clutch by Markeith Ambles for the touchdown.
Wide side of Rebel right.
Touchdowns in 3 consecutive games for the newcomer Ambles. In just his 5th game as a Stampeder.
Monday.
So after the big play by the Bombers, a response quickly by Calgary. Looking for two here in the 7-point lead. And a battle there for the football and incomplete. Brandon Alexander with tight coverage on Brescison, who couldn't make the play. So it's a 5-point lead for Calgary as they regain the lead with a 7-play, 77-yard touchdown drive. It'll be the Western Final if they win. And let's take a look at the touchdown that puts Calgary back in front.
Well, boy, I mean, gutsy to go to shotgun on 3rd and 1. You're taking the ball 6 yards off the goal line and throwing it. If that's dropped, that'd be second guess that decision. You can bet on that, but Mitchell hit him, and our Keith Ambrose came through.
We come back to this.
Again, the depth of that receiving core has been tested like no other year, but we've seen big plays from Matthews tonight. Marquise Ambrose again. Bakari Grant reading in the wings, and he is close if needed.
Hey, I'll run you.
But all hands on deck for Calgary in the receiving core this year. Here's Dembski with the return, and he gets stood up short of the 30-yard line. Let's check back in with Matthew Shinetti.
Chris, Matt Nichols told me before the game that sometimes sports can be too reactionary. So he was happy that the Bombers took the time to stay focused and not make any changes late in the summertime when obviously the Bombers were going through a losing streak. But the most important thing is the calm and the focus of the leadership in the locker room. And that is why at this time of the year, there isn't anything that needs to be said. It's just focus and calm and purpose. Guys?
Yeah, it didn't seem like that when they were going through the September swoon. There's Harris.
You know, I asked Matt Nichols about that and what it meant to him when after the Banjo Bowl, and it was a bad run. It was 2 games in a row with too many interceptions and decisions, and the Twitter war back and forth at times with fans with Matt Nichols. And he said it meant everything. He said, you know, that a lot of people relying on me to perform at the highest level. Michael O'Shea and his family is one of them. It meant a ton that O'Shea stuck by his quarterback when everybody wanted to make a change.
Down, Harris out of the backfield, and Harris has a first down. Driven back by Emus. Singleton on patrol there as well. And they're going to go tempo. On a roll with Cordero Law in pursuit. There's Dressler, and he'll step out at the Calgary bench.
Hey, let's do your
the
job,
50-yard line has 5.
Do your job, Alex. Let's go.
That last play tempo really helped. That Calgary defense wasn't set. They weren't even lined up correctly. Some of the guys up front got their hands on their waists. That's often an indication they're getting tired. Micah Johnson right in the middle of your screen there.
Left zip, 225, fake waltz on one-on-one, right?
Nichols again rolling wide open. Wolotarski, a bust, and Drew Wolotarski, touchdown.
There's a flag down.
Hey, he's on the route. Our guy's trying to get out.
60-yard play.
Defensive holding. Calgary. Number 29. Collins decline. Score a touchdown.
Mike O'Shea's calling for a 2-point convert attempt here. Penalty against Calgary for defensive holding. And there's lots going on in this play. Misdirection in a couple of different ways. There's a fake to Andrew Harris, the fake on the fly sweep. Matt Nichols out the other direction, out on the edge, and the defenders had moved up to tackle the quarterback, leaving Wolotarski in behind coverage. 60-yarder.
Front end of that play, you could see Mike Miller getting tackled. The Blue Bomber fullback on that play. So 3 consecutive possessions that end with touchdowns. And now the Bombers to go for 2 and try and make it a 3-point lead.
To wax right, zip, 65, Razor, Z Romeo, 1-on-1, right?
50 yards to Adams, 60 to Wolotarski. Bombers back in the lead.
Go! Point Gordon! Point Gordon, hot!
Through the reads, anybody open? And down he goes. Micah Johnson with the sack, and it will stay a 1-point game.
Boy, tight game like this with so much on the line. That's a monster play. Keep it to a point. Good power rush move by Micah Johnson.
Inside 5.
Playing in his 80th game, his 40th career sack.
Let's see the route run by Drew Wolotarski here as he just guns a crossing route really and gets in behind because of the misdirection on the play. I think the Calgary defenders were all closing in on the line of scrimmage.
Either way, it's inside of 5.
Biggest play of the year for Wolotarski as he scores his 5th touchdown of 2018.
One time, Wolotarski was on pace for 27 touchdowns right out of the game.
Yeah, but that's when Strebla was the quarterback.
Yeah, that was just in game 2, but
college roommates got off to a great start.
Yeah,
he's had a terrific year now. In the top 25 in receiving in the league.
Well, what an answer. The Bombers after the Calgary touchdown, a couple big plays in the passing game for the Stamps, and Bombers come right back.
Line drive from Medlock, and that'll bounce past Wilmar Morris. They're going to go through. It will. So no point. And it'll come out to the 25, and maybe Morris fortunate that that one didn't put the brakes on deep in the back of the end zone.
Found a lower price on tires? We'll match it, guaranteed.
Back-to-back 81-yard touchdown drives for Winnipeg. 5 plays that ended in that big play to Evans. This one a 4-play drive and a Wolotarski score. Calgary answered the first touchdown. Let's see if Dave Dickinson's offense can do it again. Flag comes down, and so does Moyo. He is dropped. Christian Opalugo and Santos Knox, but it looked like Winnipeg was offside.
No head-to-head. Head-to-head.
Offside, Calgary, number 15. Penalties decline. 2nd down.
Oh, it was against Calgary. Thought we saw that Winnipeg front jump, but it is against the Stamps, and the sack will stand.
Adam Bighill showed blitz and then dropped out. Opalugo, nice spin move on Casatati.
Second sack of the game from the Bombers. Didn't have one in the first meeting of the year. Another flag comes down.
Offside down.
Mitchell dancing, but the play has been halted.
It's offside them. The receiver was over the line walking.
And once again, it looks like Calgary
Make sure
was
they're smart
offside.
with the hot. BA.
Offside, Calgary, number 15. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down. Clock will be on the
Back-to-back flag
hold.
thrown by Eric Rogers. And that only amplifies the noise here.
I think the crowd's chipping in on some of these.
Short, low, hot, T-angle. Next time, Harvey. Up foot, ready?
Long, completion over the middle to Jackson. Fumble, and Winnipeg's got it. Jackson coughs it up. The Bombers have another and Jeffcoat comes up with it in his return from 6 games on the DL.
Watch the Bomber leader, gets his jam on his receiver, outruns his teammates to get to the tackle on that hot route over the middle, causes the fumble, and creates another takeaway and another big play for number 4.
Would be the 4th forced fumble of the season for Adam Big Hill.
Hey, sit down. Hey, sit down.
Hey,
sit down.
listen to me. Hey,
we gotta relax.
So now the Bombers take over in the red zone at the
That's what we do out here, baby. That's what we do.
It gets real in these streets. Just know that. Hey, fellas. Stay on goal. On their hands. Let's settle down and
takeaways
play.
that any
Everybody,
team in the league
settle
this
down,
year.
Johnny. Let's go. Head up. Head up.
Second on that list are the Calgary Stampeders.
There's a lot of that in this game. 2 highest scoring teams, 2 best defensive records. Andrew Harris down to the 14-yard line. Pickup of around 5.
Hey, Beamer. Yo, run.
No huddle. Back to Harris straight ahead. First down more. Harris to the 2.
There's the spin move. Singleton called it dirty. It's like when the kids today call it sick. But Andrew Harris does it better than anyone. And Andrew Harris on this spin move does it just before the contact is made, and that's what makes it challenging for tacklers. The spin move, and he'll do it in the box too. Most guys will try and do that move out on the edges. He'll do it between the tackles, but it's just before contact. He spins out of that arm tackle and picks up extra yards.
Chris Trevler comes into the game. Thought Winnipeg was going to take a timeout there. Seemed to take a long time to make that personnel change. But it is 1st and goal from the 2. Trevler with 8 touchdown runs on the year. He'll go left side, go wide, touchdown. Make it 9 of the year. And it's 3 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter for the blue and gold.
Chris, when we say big on big, it means offensive linemen up against the defensive linemen. But I've called this big on big with Strevler. At about 215 on Omalade, a defensive lineman, and keeps pushing, keeps fighting. Clearly in. Or was that Robert? Either way, defensive lineman.
After a 2-0 to start the second half, 8 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Bombers. A 50-yarder, a 60-yarder, and a 2-yard plunge by Strevler. Another convert for Medlock. And it's an 8-point lead.
Sudden change. And when you get that turnover, when the turnover is created by your defense, in this case, the leader of that defense, Adam Big Hill, your offense wants to come on the field immediately in the sudden change and put the major on the board. And this spin move gets the Bombers right down to the doorstep.
Stanley.
Chris Trevler
Just if you can, get up. And then if you have to take it,
powers his way in from the 2-yard line.
Stop the clock. I don't care if they came out or not. Just stop the clock for an injury.
Bentley, just say he's going to stick and go right outside.
Hey, keep pushing around, but make sure we're clean.
Dave Dickinson's upset because mentioned how long it took for the Strevler and the offense to make the change. Stanley Bryant had been shaken up. Looked like he might have to come out of the game, and the Stampeders thought the clock had been stopped for him to come out, and that there should have been a personnel change. But that didn't happen, and Winnipeg rolls into the end zone.
And we've got a heck of a 4th quarter on deck.
With major implications for both teams.
And a couple watching at home, too.
Locations everywhere in Western Canada. As Morris brings it back across the 30. Well, it was 12-6 at the half in favor of Calgary. Things have opened up since then, haven't they? Well, he does it on defense, but he does it every time he's called upon.
Absolutely love this, too. This is Adam Bighill, all-star linebacker, covering kickoffs. If you're a young football player that you think, you know, I'm a starter, so I shouldn't have to play on the teams. These guys love it so much, they want to be on the team. And Alex Singleton plays on the team for Calgary as well.
Jackson left side, gets to the edge, and it gets drilled out of bounds. Heavy contact there, but good first down production.
Yeah, Don Jackson went and found contact there. It's in the form of Chris Randall. But he didn't want to run out of bounds. He wanted to go on, initiate contact.
Here we go.
Aggressive 8-yard gain by Don Jackson.
Heel right. D clock. 25-0. X slot. On foot off the ready. All right. All right.
Morris in the game. No, sir. Stacked up. He's going to be short. No gain. See where they mark it. If they give him the 40, it's third and a yard.
I think Big Drake Nevis stepped into that hole and shut it down.
It's third and a yard and a bit, and the punt team immediately comes out. After the goal line stand, or the two stops at the one before, Dave Dickinson's not going to take any chances.
All right, keep working. Head up. Great job. I got nothing for you, BB. Let's go.
Be the final play of the third quarter. Maver into the foggy air and into the hands of Kevin Fogg.
Face mask.
Who is brought down just short of the 30-yard line. An enormous third quarter for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They trailed by 6 going in, but then Matt Nichols went deep twice. And they hit pay dirt 3 times. Calgary 1 touchdown, but the Bombers take a lead to the fourth quarter.
This program may contain coarse language that could offend some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Stamps have won 10 consecutive games here in Winnipeg. To make it 11, they'll have to come back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, big quarter for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Take a look at that bottom line. The offense in that third quarter. Winnipeg had the big-time edge there. They took advantage of the sudden change after the turnover, and now the Calgary Stampeders have a quarter to try and lock up first place in the division.
A little Halloween theme here with the fog as well, but that might be the biggest quarter of the year for Winnipeg so far.
Well, and they need it. I mean, if they don't win this football game, they're facing elimination next week against the Edmonton Eskimos, so they understand the urgency here. They can knock Edmonton out of the playoffs with a win and a finish here in the fourth quarter. Calgary's trying to lock up first, or Saskatchewan steal that from them.
First and 10, Andrew Harris, the ball carrier. Not much there as he is wrestled down. Tackle made there by Arimolade. Looked like he was trying to rip it out of the hands of Harris. And he and Micah Johnson do some jawing.
Here we go. Here we got ace right, 65, Fido, White Juliet, on one-on-one, right? Hey, check, Juliet.
Nichols out of the pocket, might take off here. He does, and he slides feet first, well short of the first down with the Arimolade bearing down.
Well, we're showing you a couple highlights of Adam Bighill and how he can affect the game, and Alex Singleton does the same kind of thing for the Calgary Stampeders. Watch the work here by the middle linebacker, Alex Singleton. Drops off and takes away the hot route to Dembski. Then he jumps on Weston Dressler covers him. That's why Matt Nichols had to pull it down, take off and run. Basically
Right
took
away.
2 receivers in his drop.
Yeah, Shark.
Getting a little thicker here at Investors Group Field. Headlock into the air. See, that's tough to track for Wilmar Morris. He's able to make the play, but then got tripped up by his teammate Deshaun Amos. Back to the sidelines. Here's Matt.
Well, obviously that we can all see it's a little misty out here tonight. I had a chance to quickly ask Alex Singleton if there was any issues with visibility. He smiled and says no, but he said it does look a little spooky this time of year, guys.
Still rolling in.
You know, for Singleton and the guys tackling, they're looking at players at field level. I'm wondering about tracking the ball, though, when it's up in the punt.
On the deep shots, hard to track the ball when it's in the air. That one is caught by Ambles up at the 50-yard line. He's become one of the top targets for the Stampeders. 5th catch of the night.
Boy, is he ever. And Bo Levi Mitchell's got to find him.
Hey, do it!
18 on that play. First and 10 from the Calgary 50. Let's score game. And they swing it back to Ambles, puts his head down and drives to midfield.
Dave Dickinson telling us yesterday that one of the reasons that it's been tough with the injuries to the receivers to have Chris Matthews, who's a potential 1,500-yard guy, Eric Rogers is still on the limp, and the newcomer in Ambles to get used to it is because they want him to play multiple positions. So they're not only just leaving them at a wideout or a slot back position, they want them to learn them all so that they can be interchangeable.
6 for 17 on second down conversions. The Bombers quickly into the hands of Mitchell. There's a first down conversion catch to Breskison. Do have a flag here. And Bombers suggesting this is a holding call against Calgary.
Major foul, leg whip. Calgary, number 60. It's a 15-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Shane Bergman, the Teeterville, Ontario native, draws the flag.
Call it a leg whip. He goes down, tries to cut block. Yeah, absolutely. Correct call was made, and that was well blocked. Casatati had the blitzing Adam Big Hill off the edge to complete that pass for a first down, and Bergman didn't have to do that.
Well, these fans have raised their game in the second half too, haven't they?
Made it tough.
Santos Knox gets a mid on it.
I asked Mike O'Shea yesterday about the play of Santos Knox, and boy, I got an ear-to-ear grin. He said he's following and learning from Adam Big Hill, but here's a player, he said to me, that just loves when his teammates make plays. He goes out and is the first to congratulate them when they make plays. An ultimate team guy. That's a monster play from 45.
Neighbor boots it away. Fogg at his 25, a 45-yard punt. Fogg straight back ahead for 9. There is a flag. We'll sort that out when we come
still
back.
doing it from Middletown, Connecticut.
The Bombers up by 8.
Good, Mom?
Well, we mentioned Shades of the Fog Bowl, the epic 1962 game at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. Hamilton and Winnipeg. The fog rolled in off Lake Ontario about halfway through the game. By the fourth quarter, the fans couldn't see the game, then the officials couldn't see it. They had a 20-minute delay. It did not clear, so they came back the next day to finish off. No further scoring, and the Bombers were Grey Cup champions.
Well, the Bombers like the outcome of that one. Let's see if they get the outcome in this one.
Matt Nichols to work. Underneath it goes to Harris. Harris up to the 25-yard line, has 7 more.
Well, this is the time when Paul LaPolice wants to just put together a long, time-consuming drive.
Dipsky got a push down.
Chip away with good balance, get the run game going, which he started and initiated at the beginning of this drive with 2 straight runs. But take a bunch of time off the clock, chip away, and only take the deep shot if it's absolutely there wide open.
Oh, here's the deep shot. He's got Adams again. And Adams, does he make the catch in bounds? Yes, he does. At the 34-yard line. 41 yards. And Matt Nichols over 300. Darvin Adams over 100.
And now is up 3-1 in the matchup with the inexperienced Amos on the sideline, on the short side of the field.
Back to the ground and Harris. He is stopped after a short gain.
Keep fighting, JD.
Matt Nichols now 20 of 28, 324, and a pair of long touchdown passes.
Yeah, if it's wide open, you take it. You definitely didn't want to.
Here we go.
Darvin Adams made a couple big plays now, over 100 yards, 126.
Four big plays for the Bombers against the stingiest team in allowing big plays. Dipsky, he holds on. Had to bobble that, but now making the most of it. And he'll get pushed back. Forward progress looked like it was about the 12. And Ciante Evans shaken up on the play. 19 for Dipsky.
It almost looked like Dembski lost the football in the fog here, and then just kind of felt it hit his hands, turned his head even, and then just bounced outside. Now, Bombers looking at making this a 2-possession game.
6 catch for Dembski. He has 65. Evans has to come out. That will mean an adjustment in that secondary of the Stampeders. Last week when they had to make some moves, Emmanuel Davis kicked out to the corner. Looks like that's the case once again.
Hey, preview. Hey, we got ace left.
15th career 300-yard game for Matt Nichols.
Charlie, all right, hey, ace left cluster, 35 base whip. Charlie, on one-on-one, ready? Go! Point 20! Point 20!
The hands of Tompkins. Wolotarski blocking. And Tompkins down around the 5.
Hey, Wally, hey, be careful. Close to being a hold, just be careful.
Bombers can get a first down without scoring here.
Adam Berger, part of that revamped secondary in the absence of Evans.
Hey, quads right, 1 Blaze, X Swift, Y Swift, X2 on 1-1 right.
Stampeder gave up a couple of 13-play drives last week in the loss to Saskatchewan. Bombers put a couple long drives together here. That pass out of the reach of Dembski, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down, and they'll send the field goal unit on. So Medlock's job to make it a 2-score, 11-point lead.
Rush, Pat.
Great job, fellas. Way to get off.
But a chance for a kill shot for the Bombers, perhaps, and they'll settle for 3.
Lots of football to be played, though.
Handoff.
Over 8 minutes, but that was an excellent drive by the Bombers because they wanted to chip away at the time clock, come away with points to make it a 2-possession game. Mission accomplished.
18-23, second half points, and a 2-score lead for the home side. Time now for the Shaw connection to the game. Shaw, super fan and proud sponsor of the CFL.
Wolodarski in the third quarter. This touchdown reception from Matt Nichols. His 5th touchdown on the season. His best game of the year so far was against Calgary in their last matchup. That might be his biggest play of the season if the Bombers can hold on.
Only catch, but an enormous 60-yard touchdown. And now the urgency that Calgary talked about yesterday becomes even more increased. Up across the 35.
Hey, Fred's ready to go on kickoff.
Getting a bit of a
little harder
challenge
for us to see. I think that's Bo Levi Mitchell coming up.
I think so too, yeah. A little tougher to see at home watching this one as well. And I know again, Edmonton Eskimos watching very closely.
We're in Fog K tonight.
Winnipeg hangs on and wins. It's out.
Draw play. Speedy Jackson gets taken down. Santos Knox. The one guy they can't lean on here is the guy that exploded in the last matchup. Kamar Jordan had 10 catches, 249 yards and a touchdown. The biggest receiving game of the season in the Canadian Football League.
Well, and you can't really ask Markeith Ambles to fill those shoes, but you just ask him to do him, and he's been playing very well. So we'll see if Dave Dickinson, Bo Levi Mitchell lean on 83.
Just to put that in perspective, Calgary has 231 passing yards the entire game. Jordan was better than that in the first meeting. You got a feeling they've got to score on this possession. And Durant's going to be dropped for a loss. What a great play by Kevin Fogg.
The Fog rolled in more ways than one. I had to.
It's there.
Kentucky! Drake! Kentucky!
Loss of 3, second and 13. Stands in, wants Ambles, can't make the catch. Tight coverage there, and Ambles unable to bring it down. Back-to-back plays by number 3.
Tight coverage, but Mitchell gave Ambles a shot at it. I mean, look at this throw and the accuracy. He wins the jump ball, but you're right. Kevin Fogg punched it out. Was fighting it in the first half. Fogg, but
tackle, knocked down, now punt return. As Fogg steps back to his 10 to field it. 54-yard punt by Maver. And Fogg taken down by Corey Greenwood, just shy of the 20. Matt Nichols and the Bombers in control. Just a reminder, tune in Sunday, halftime of the Argos Alouettes game, as we reveal the Kraft Heinz Project Play $250,000 grand prize winner live. Well, we're down to 5:49 to go right now. Bomber fans are happy. Rough Rider fans are happy. Not so much in Alberta.
Kentucky again, because the corner
And the Calgary Stampeders need to stop right here.
contain the blood outside. So we want to outlaw it and get it.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've already talked to Lamar about it.
Bomber win and they're in. Swinging out to Dembski. Deontay Evans back on the scene. He couldn't bring him down, but there'll be more yardage lost. Jagarrett Davis tosses Dembski down around the 10-yard line. So that's a big early play on this series for the defense.
Yeah, the Calgary Stampeders defensively have to get the 2 and out here. They or at least get a stop as quickly as possible. Remember I mentioned about wrapping up? Deontay Evans didn't do it there. Now he bought enough time for his teammates.
There we got left under.
You got to be careful with that tackling into the open field.
Ricky.
Wrap your arms around the ball carrier.
Suddenly, not only a stop here, but potentially great field position for Calgary. If Matt Nichols can't convert on his second down play, he's got Dressler with a blocker though. Weston Dressler up around the 28, and he's going to be close.
Timeout!
Well, they had this set up and executed so nicely.
Hey, it's the same thing. He's
Not only did they get Weston Dressler out there with lots of space,
1 yard.
Comes in like he's going to block, and then he comes out. Look, they've got two out in front too. Gosen, Suk Chung, they're out leading the way, trying to get a block for Weston Dressler.
Micah Johnson took a knee.
Who
And I'll ask you
Timeout
this,
called.
3rd
Calgary.
and 1, and Micah Johnson's not going to be on the defensive line. Does that impact Mike O'Shea's decision here, or is it automatic you have to punt the football away here with a 2-score lead?
Yeah, is it 3rd and 1, or is it 3rd and a long one, or is it 3rd and a short one? Because that makes a difference too. But you're right, taking Micah Johnson out, who now has to go for 3 plays, softens the middle a little
Downs
bit.
on the 29.
Sending Michael Couture out there. It
It's right here.
looks
You
like
gotta get inside leverage. I know.
looks like
Why
he's
you not
thinking
say who
about
it is? I know who it is.
Come up with a
You gotta
play.
get inside leverage.
Gotta come up
Hey,
with a
it's this
play.
much right here.
Third down.
Yeah.
he's sizing it up, and they're telling him a 3rd and a
You
full
gotta
yard.
get your edges. You guys gotta get your edges. Let's go. Get it.
Wow. Go get it. That's bold stuff.
There you go. There you go.
They called timeout.
Go get it from the head coach.
You
Chris
guys have
Trevler.
Fatso with Micah hurt. Hey, stay on side.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Robert Ray and Junior Turner in the interior of that defensive line in the absence of Johnson.
Micah can come back.
11. I'll tell you in a second. Hold on, we're in turtle. Yeah. I got a second. We got shifter log, 11 wedge fast. I want
They're going fast! Get in there!
Chris Trevler in.
Go! 180!
Well, they need a full yard. Bring ahead. Oh, don't know. Second and third effort. Is that going to be enough? What a big turnover this would be if the Stampeders have created it.
They'll review it anyway.
You hear the official saying the play is over. He's got the spot. No need to be trying to sell it to the officials. The foot's down. Was it enough?
The first surge wasn't. Did he able to get propelled forward in the subsequent melee? But right there you see him just
No
stop.
shot on the first push.
I think they're short, guys. I do. They're short.
Another
They're
injured
short.
Stampeder lineman down
They're short.
right in the area where they'll do the measurement.
Really, really close.
I'm
guys.
fighting it.
It's going to be within.
Singleton over the top. Jagarrett Davis. Look at Singleton. Keeps driving his legs.
We didn't get it. Huh?
Who got low there? Was that Junior Turner? He got rooted right down in there.
Went McManus over the top and
Yeah. Romar, you're in. Okay, I want you. Hey,
a full line brawl.
We got a Calgary Stampeder down, which is why they're taking their time to get the first down marker in there.
That's Barabare
to make the measurement. Yeah.
That's impressive stuff from that Calgary front without Micah Johnson to dig in on one of those 5 or 6 plays that make a difference in a game. Let's find out if this one has made a difference or not.
Boy, and just before that, the snap of the ball, it felt like the calm before the storm. I almost thought that Calgary just didn't look like they had the intensity to make that stop, but they were just focusing, getting ready to stay on side, which is the first goal in short yardage, and Dave Dickinson reminded them to stay on side. And then, boy, did they get a great push and get low leverage.
We're a little blocked out to see the exact spot.
Did they stop
to
Keach
so he's out to the
from the sidelines? But it looks like
there.
this is going to be a chain link or two, one way or the other.
Hey, we take the ball away deep in the end zone, we're just taking a knee.
Come on now.
There we go.
Inside, Blair. Are you inside? You know that fast.
Short.
Okay,
Turnover on downs.
Other way.
And Calgary's got some life.
Let's go, Bo, in and out.
Romar. Hey, take the ball back. Take the ball back. Hey, O-line, we're going to need you again.
Romar, you go. Let's go.
We're going to need you again. Let's go.
In and out. Make sure Don's out of the huddle.
Huge break, and suddenly there's a little daylight in the fog.
That's like posters, Z, hitch and go. On foot, ready?
Got awful quiet in here quickly, too. We'll see if the crowd cranks it up. Here they go.
Micah Johnson was out there on the line. I don't think he got the right signal. Supposed to be out for 3 plays anyway, but I think number 4 was ready to line up. Rams take over at the 29. A punt from Mitchell. Now he looks the other way. Look out. Oh, it is caught. Chris Matthews won the battle. But it looked like it was going to be intercepted by Brandon Alexander.
Well, that's all Chris Matthews. Using his body to block out Alexander. Fighting back to the football because it looked like that was picked.
Strike. Hey. Yeah.
Yep. First and goal from the 8. Short drop, quick hitter that time. Broken up Chris Randall. Intended for Chris Matthews.
Nice timing. I think Matthews wants Dave Dickinson to challenge that it was early, but let's take a look, because I thought live, now it's foggy, it's tough to see that's on the opposite side. Did he get there on time, or was it a little early?
It's simultaneous, don't see a challenge flag yet. We're going to go 2nd and 8. 2nd and goal. Underneath, Gustafson cast down. Another play made by Marcus Sales, who's had quite a night. Well, here you go. 2-score game. Do you kick 3 here, or? We're going to keep the offense out on the field. Had that play called by Jason Moss last week, but he did it on 1st down. This is 3rd down, and we're going to take a little more time because they've given the 3-minute warning to the benches.
And different field position than that other play.
Just Ryder doubleheader action tomorrow. Shaw Road to the Grey Cup battle for first in the East. Red Blacks, Tiger Cats across the TSN network, and then it's the BC Lions and Saskatchewan Roughriders. Back half of our doubleheader at 7 Eastern. But right now, 3rd down Calgary. Offense stays on the field. 3rd and goal. From the 5. The end zone. And Rogers, did he have it long enough? No, incomplete. Turnover on downs. They'll review a potential scoring play, but they're ruling it complete.
He has to maintain control.
He did. He did.
Let's see it. Eric Rogers on the quick out here. Timing throw from Bo Levi Mitchell, number 15. Does he have it long enough?
Hey, let's go. It's a scoring play, right?
Dave Dickinson is
might have had it long enough.
Well, and did he cross the plane? Dave Dickinson said,
Did he get it in or not?
That's a touchdown.
if they call it a catch. Yes.
But does he survive it? And Alexander strips it out.
The previous play is under
with
review
him
by the
down on
command
ground,
center.
but The Stampeders will argue that that touchdown was already scored.
It's automatically reviewed because it's a potential scoring play. And the question is, did he survive contact with the ground and then it came out, or did, when he made contact with the ground, the ball come out simultaneously?
Go right in behind Heck's ear.
I think there's a question. He broke the plane, but it's whether or not he had ball security long enough.
So he hits the ground there. Has the ball. Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. I mean, he's on his back with the ball in his hands. He crossed the plane. Yeah, crossed the plane there. Now he has the ball in his hands right now, and he's down by contact right there. Survived contact? I don't know. That's close, isn't it? It's close, but I think
after review, ruling on the field stands of an incomplete pass. Over on downs. First down, Winnipeg.
I don't agree with that call, and I just it has nothing to do with. You have to survive contact with the ground. I think he did, and the ball came out after he was already on the ground.
Incomplete pass. He didn't have control.
Let's go. Let's go.
Bombers take over at the 5 on the turnover on downs, and Andrew Harris near first down territory at the 14. 9 for Harris.
Well, and they'll give it to him again on second down, you can bet.
By the end of this possession, he might be the rushing leader once again.
Hey,
I know he goes.
We're going to do a stealth Nike on Q1, all right? Hold on. Hey, just do it. Not stealth, but just get up there. Here we go. Q1.
Harris within 11 yards of William Powell. First job is to get the first down, and I'm not sure. McManus over the top, and Nichols gets stopped. He had to get beyond the 15. I don't think he did. And would Mike O'Shea go for it on third and less than a yard again? Well, they're going to get a measurement here. Had to get beyond the 15. Ball is on that yard stripe, so I think it is short.
I absolutely love the confidence in your offensive line and from Michael O'Shea. The sort of the old school blood and guts of it.
So we're third down. We're going to third down.
Now if you're inches, you got to go.
It's
Lapo.
It's an edge. Lapo. It's literally 2 inches. It's literally 2 inches.
Probably the best thing they could have.
I was going to say, if it was another third and a yard scenario at this point in the field,
Calgary.
you're kicking it.
Hey, come here.
You're a little uneasy, but you're right. When you're dealing with chain links, you should be able to get it.
Hey, this is going to be on Q1. This is just stealth 11 wedge. Rock stealth.
Make sure they're set
Rock
up
stealth
right
11 wedge.
as we come out of there.
Snap to Strebler could disrupt everything. Let's see.
11 wedge was the exact call he made on the last one when Calgary stopped it.
Pleasure working with you, sir.
What?
I'm on football.
What?
Yep. Did they call a timeout? Hey, we're going on Q1.
They called
Rock stealth 11 wedge on Q1. Ready?
Go, sir!
Line comes down, and Strebler does have enough. Did Calgary line up offside?
I don't think there's any question there unless
You can go ahead and...
Winnipeg was lined up or jumped offside. I don't think they did.
Hey, eye in the sky again! Hey, they weren't set, but they weren't set! I need eye in the sky! Their tackle wasn't set for a second!
Were they or not?
Offside call, moving 5 yards forward. Getting just another preview of what it's going to be like.
Ball
Hey,
security
how
here.
about the
Two
tackle?
ends
The
on
tight end
November.
wasn't set. How about you go to the Iron Sky? Hey, the tight end wasn't set for a
Offside,
second.
Calgary defensive line. Penalties decline, the play results in enough distance for first down Winnipeg.
So they decline the penalty to let the clock run. They take the shorter gain, but when the play was whistled in, the clock will start to roll.
Okay.
Come on, defense, let's go!
There's been some interesting coaching decisions in this last 3 minutes. A gamble that didn't work, a 3rd and 5 that didn't work. An interesting command center decision. And now Andrew Harris plunging ahead. And
Huddle up, huddle up.
it'll be 2nd down, and it looks like 6.
Hey, all right, listen up. Here's the call. This is going to be lion under. 30 zombie or war. On one, ready?
Chris Strebler staying
Hey,
in.
I'm under. Go! 180! 180!
Gets to Dressler. Gets the edge. Gets the first down. And more. Short tackle from Tunde Adeleke. But the Bombers are really in charge now. 19-yard run.
Timing on this play is absolutely perfect.
Ball security here.
He gets it in stride, gets the edge, and that should do it.
72 combined yards for Weston Dressler, who went over 10,000 receiving yards in the first half.
I'm in gun. Go! 180! 180!
Once again, not much there. Junior Turner on the tackle. But the clock will keep running.
So that turns it up a notch for tomorrow's BC-Saskatchewan matchup.
We get it back and I get it in here. I'm
split.
kicking.
I'm worried.
Okay.
No, I'm in gun.
Dave Dickinson just mentioned get the ball back and kick a field goal as quickly as possible, and then onside.
Stopped in the backfield and brought down Jamar Wall. And the punt team will come on.
Mission accomplished from the Winnipeg offense. Chipped away under a minute. Couple first downs, that's what they needed.
And on a foggy night at Investors Group Field, some demons being exercised here.
First win for Matt Nichols against this team.
Fans now on their feet saluting a team headed for the postseason.
Pull that one. Nichols said to us yesterday, he said, history, don't care about that. This is a new team, they're a new team, different team than we played even earlier this season. Bombers are looking at 5-0 and locking up a playoff spot.
Here's Morris on the return, nearly snuck through before he gets closed down by Chandler Bennett. Time now for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Well, this will be Winnipeg Blue Bombers' 5th straight win. Matt Nichols is back on track. He is our player of the game at 358, 2 touchdowns, avoided the interception again, some big plays to Darvin Adams. And his first win against the Calgary Stampeders in start number 64.
Season high, 358 yards. Mitchell underneath, and the pass is caught. Be the first 3-game losing streak for Bo Levi Mitchell. And the first win for Matt Nichols against the Calgary Stampeders. That one pass caught by Matthews. And it's going to go down.
Field goal.
Well, it could go down to the final weekend. BC Lions have to beat Saskatchewan tomorrow to extend the drum up of, or to put Calgary in the first place in the West. Otherwise, it won't be decided until next week.
It won't be.
Rough Riders still have a chance at first.
Now Saskatchewan beat BC. They go the chance for first if Calgary doesn't beat BC final week.
But the decision desk may have to hold on because here's Calgary trying to get one of the two scores right here and set up a short kick.
I know.
A 51-yarder. Trying to make it an 8-point game. And Rene Paredes is good. Had a 52-yard earlier this year, hits from 51, and so let's get a short kick in and find out what happens.
Well, a short kick and
Hey, it'll be Hail Mary next.
a short kick, but a short kick that is tipped out of bounds, not caught. Even if it's won by Calgary, they can't take any of that time off the clock. They need at least 1 second for the Hail Mary.
They batted out of bounds. The clock doesn't start till that contact.
Exactly. So that's got to be the plan, and that's what Mark Killam is talking to his special teams unit about right now. Now here, you're saying block the front line, the front wave.
Side. Are they two kickers? Yeah, they can advance it. Listen up. They can advance it, and when they do, they have to start pitching it, right? Because time will. Time should run out. I ended up like high. I was kind of just. What?
I still think it doesn't hurt when your head coach is probably the best special teams mind in the game.
He already hit it. He came in too early.
Paul Boudreau also there. And on the other side, Mark Killam is good a special teams guy as there is.
O'Shea saying if they recover the onside, they might just try to advance it with pitches. So keep the play live. Here we go.
Aver does the duties. It is up for grabs, and Darvin Adams brings it down.
Wind it out. It's done. Hey, Chris. Sorry we couldn't get you.
Sure-handed guy on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Hey, that's it.
Recovers with McManus. They're going to say the game is over, and Matt Nichols and the Bombers for the W and into the postseason.
Come on.
Look at the onside kick attempt. Another big play by Darvin Adams. He has a few tonight. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers lock their playoff spot up.
So it's 3 consecutive losses for the Stampeders, now 12-5, and double-digit wins for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and they're into the postseason for the 3rd consecutive year. First place still in doubt in the West. All we know is that Winnipeg's in, and the Eskimos have been eliminated. Doubleheader action tomorrow, Hamilton, Ottawa, Lions and Rough Riders. Hope you enjoyed it as the Bombers advance to the postseason.